Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Kohn. Janelle is off this evening. The Magic City tonight under new leadership. A new mayor and 5 council members, including 3 new ones, sworn into office earlier this evening. Now, the new look city council has no shortage of tough decisions ahead of it, such as hiring a new city administrator, deciding the fate of the One Big Sky project downtown, as well as what was discussed at tonight's first work session of the new year, investing in the city's water system. But first things first, Bill Cole taking the oath of office tonight. He takes over the reins as the new mayor of Billings. New council members Frank Ewalt in Ward 2, Denise Joy in Ward 3, and Penny Ronning in Ward 4, also sworn in tonight. Along with incumbents Mike Yakowicz and Sean Brown, they begin their second 4-year term on the council as of this evening. While the city welcomes the new faces on the council, it will soon say goodbye to a sitting councilman, Ward 4's Ryan Sullivan, announcing his resignation tonight. That's effective January 16th due to a job relocation. Mayor Cole and the council will look to appoint a replacement within 30 days or run a special election in the ward. Applicants must be a resident of Ward 4 and a registered voter. Meanwhile, in Laurel, the city council there held its meeting tonight without its next mayor. Q2's Dustin Kleeman joins us in studio tonight to explain more about this unique set of circumstances. Dustin.
Good evening, Jay. Dave Wegener, who was selected by the voters, will not be Laurel's next mayor. The man who came in second, Tom Nelson, will serve the city for the next 2 years. Tonight, the swearing-in ceremony took place without either of the 2 men. Wegener had until the end of business day to inform the city that if he'd quit his city job as a water treatment operator, he could not have both positions due to Laurel's charter laws. The city did not hear from him. In December, council nominated Nelson, whose term ended at the end of the year, to fill the position in. Nelson will serve a 2-year term before needing to run for mayor again. Jay.
All right, Dustin, thank you. Helena's new mayor also officially sworn into office today. Mayor Wilmot Collins took the oath of office at the state capitol. His election drew national attention earlier this year for his unique background. Collins first came to Helena some 20 years ago as a refugee from Liberia. He defeated longtime Helena Mayor Jim Smith back in November.
I am excited. I'm looking forward to meeting with the people of Helena and listening to our issues and working through them.
And the new Helena mayor and city commissioners in the capital city hold their first official meeting of the new year next Monday night. Turning now to the weather scene. Q2's Bob McGuire says it's nice to see these temperatures above zero and no more snow falling. You've been looking at the precipitation totals for 2017, Bob. It was a very good year in that department.
We've been talking about it for months, how we've had a lot of precipitation this year. So we thought it'd be kind of a cool idea to go back, let's say, 7 years and just compare this year with the last 7. And here's how the numbers came out. You'll notice in this year we had 17.63 inches of precipitation. Turned out to be almost 4 inches ahead of normal, which is really pretty good. But when you look back to the last 7 years, it was only in second place. 2011, we had actually almost 6 inches of precipitation ahead of normal at 1954. Now, we did have a couple of years where we were actually below normal, 2015 and 2012. The one in 2012, that was a very dry year. We wound up with about almost 6.5 inches, a little more than 6.5 inches below normal there, so quite a bit of difference there. Elsewhere in that, 2016 and 2014, precipitation was above normal in both cases, so really not too bad. So we'll see what happens to 2018, but 2017 is in the books, and it was a pretty wet one. And it looks like maybe this year, maybe we'll be dry. Who knows? We'll find out. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Well, much of Montana is finally emerging from the deep freeze. The rest of the nation is taking its turn. Bone-chilling temperatures continue to blanket much of the country. Frost and wind chill warnings issued tonight as far south as Florida. Kenneth Craig has the latest for us from the Bronx, New York.
Wow! Look at that truck! Blizzard conditions led to this deadly multi-car pileup near Buffalo, New York. More than 20 vehicles were involved in the collision Tuesday afternoon. Drivers, including this woman, were left stranded for hours in frigid conditions.
She was pretty much on her own, and she was my daughter, and I worried.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a few survival stuff that would help, and came down and trudged over through it, found her.
The Arctic blast that has swept the country downed power lines and iced over harbors.
It is chilling. It really stings the face.
Parts of Niagara Falls were left completely frozen for the first time in decades. The dangerous conditions extended to downstate New York. Here in the Bronx, firefighters battled the cold as they worked to put out a blaze that started inside this furniture store.
I literally slipped down the fire escape with my babies.
In Massachusetts, a house fire left firefighters caked in ice.
The water freezes on our equipment, on our air packs, on our masks.
In Texas, this officer narrowly avoided being hit by a car after the driver lost control on icy roads. There will likely be more treacherous conditions as a winter storm moves up the East Coast the next couple days. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, the Bronx, New York.
And by the way, the average temperature in the continental U.S. this morning was just 9 degrees above zero. Flu activity in Montana now considered widespread. So far, the most cases have been documented here in Yellowstone County. That all according to a report out from the state health department. 220 new cases of the flu reported in 32 Montana counties last week. That is the biggest increase since the flu season began. 81 cases have been confirmed in Yellowstone County. By comparison, Bighorn County saw 24 cases. Richland County has had 22 cases of the flu. All total, 613 cases of influenza have been confirmed statewide. Those cases resulting in 115 hospitalizations and 7 deaths. The Centers for Disease Control reports that all but 13 states are now reporting widespread flu. Health officials advise people to get a flu shot, to wash their hands often, and try to avoid contact with sick people. The field of candidates running for Montana's lone U.S. House seat is shrinking. But as MTN's Mike Dennison reports tonight, the departure of Bozeman Democrat Tom Woods really does not change the dynamics of this race.
State Representative Tom Woods of Bozeman announced on Monday that he's dropping out of the U.S. House race. He said he knew it would be tough competing against 2 well-funded Democrats already in the race when he entered early last fall. But he told MTN News Tuesday he didn't expect 2 other candidates from Bozeman to join the fray as well.
I figured if I got to a certain point where I could get my message out, I had a chance. But, with 3 people from Bozeman running, it really cuts into my ability to fundraise.
The 2 other Bozeman Democrats are former State Representative Kathleen Williams and attorney Jared Pettinato. 3 other Democrats also are very much still in the race. Former Land Trust Director Grant Keir of Missoula and attorney John Heenan and former State Senator Linda Moss, both of Billings. These 5 Democrats are vying for the nomination to challenge incumbent Republican Greg Gianforte, who was elected last May 25th in a special election. Heenan and Keir got into the race last summer and reported 6-figure fundraising totals through September. Woods says he'll probably run for re-election in State House District 62, which covers Central and South Bozeman. But he also says he thinks Democrats can beat Gianforte this fall.
I think people are getting tired of wealthy guys waltzing in and running government and giving themselves tax breaks. I think people are going to respond to the fact that they're going to lose health care over Republican plans to cut taxes for themselves.
Gianforte has been a strong supporter of the Republican federal tax cut, which he says will benefit all Montanans. We still have 5 Democratic candidates in this race, including some who've posted impressive fundraising numbers. But none is well known by voters. And the winner of the primary has to beat a Republican incumbent for a seat that Democrats haven't won in 24 years. Mike Dennison, MTN News, Helena.
Thank you very much, Mike. Montana's primary election is set for the 5th of June. Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, it turns out the skies were one of the safest places to be in 2017. In a moment, we'll show you the new numbers. Plus, a teen who spends time helping her community now getting the favor returned. And in sports, Got Tributes our 2017 Athletes of the Year. See how many you remember.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Kohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green.